Afternoon guys, Adam here at Board at Home, and in today's episode of Jumping Let's Play we decided to go for Dice Hospital. I really enjoyed the unboxing. It looks like a great fun game, worker placement, we've got dice drafting, like two of my favourite things as you may know. So yeah, we're going to dive in. So we've got the setup all ready here to go, so we'll go through this very briefly. In the middle here, we have got our score tracker and our rounds tracker. So we've got this that keeps an eye on the rounds and just highlights the various numbers as we go rounds. Above it, we have our ambulances. We're set up for a 2-player game, so we only use 3 ambulances. We have our specialists off to the side, and next to those guys, we've got our specialists deck, and we've got our deck of department tiles. So we'll be able to choose these throughout the game. Underneath here we have our mortuary tokens and our blood bag tokens there. And then we'll just show you quickly on this player. So we've got our starting hospital. We've got our 3 meeples here, these white ones representing our nurses. So this is what we start with in the hospital. And then down here we have our 3 starting patients for the game. So you take 3 dice out of the bag at random, you place them on any 3 of your vacant ward spaces, and then position them at 3, 4 and 5, however you'd like. So you can see here this player drew a red and 2 green, so he's got a 3, 4, 5 there. This player drew 1 of each colour and he's got a 3, 4, 5 there as well. We have a reference card. So about with scoring, with the turn sequence, and a little glossary of some of the bits on the back there. We also have an administrator. This was randomised at the start of the game, and this will give you a bonus points if you meet the condition here. So for this one, we'd get an extra point if we get 2 red discharges, so 2 red dice being discharged in the same turn. And this gentleman over here allows our other player to do the same but with green. So the last bit was the dice. So we've got our dice here. We took out 6 of each colour and put the rest into the bag. So what we do now is we actually start with the patient intake. So we give these a good shuffle. Our first player here, denoted by this, is going to reach in and he's going to grab enough dice to fill all of these. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he's going to roll all of those. Any 1s or 6s do need to be re-rolled. There we go. And then what we do here, if I just lay these out for you, is these are then placed into our ambulances. So that's these chaps here, from lowest to highest, starting on 1 and working our way through. So we've got 2 3s, so those are going to go in there. We've got a 4, so that finishes off that ambulance. We put a 4 here, a 4 there, a 5 here, and then the last 3 go into this one here because they're all the same number. So now that we've done that, we don't need this bag for the rest of this round. So we now need to pick a hospital that's going to take one of the ambulances, so to speak. So we start with the first player. He's going to go for this one. The reason he's going for this one is because we've got all 5s there. So he's taking those ones and he's going to place them here. So this will be a good time just to explain what we're going to do with these dice. So the lower the number, the sicker the patient. The higher number, the healthier they are. When we get them to a 6, we then need to treat them once more to put them in the discharge and gain ourselves points. As I said here, the amount that we discharge per round dictates how many points we get. So you can see if we only discharged 1, then we only get 1 point. If we discharged 2, we would get 3 points. So it builds up as we go through. So over the course of the game, we are looking to discharge as many as possible within a given round. So player 2, he's going to take these ones here and he's going to place them accordingly into his one. So now that we've done that, we are going to go to our hospital improvement phase. So in our hospital improvement, we take either a specialist card or a department tile. So for this, we've got it set up as a 2-player game. So we have, originally when we were setting up, we had one specialist, one department out, and then the first player just chooses whether they want to have another tile or another specialist. So they've gone for the specialist. So they are going to actually go for the tile here. Okay, so these tiles all have different meanings here. So this one, we've got cardiology. So this means that when you place a meeple in this department, you can heal exactly 3 different red patients of consecutive values, 1 step each. Now you can only do this if you have have 3 of them. So here we would be fine because we would be able to do that. But if, say, we had 2 red and 3 green, we would not be allowed to do this because we don't have enough patients of that colour to be able to treat it. So that will just sit there for now. So the other player, they won't be able to pick a tile, so they'll have to pick one of the 2 specialists. So they are going to go for the pharmacist, this one here. So the pharmacist, when it heals at least 1 green patient, heal one of those green patients an additional step. So this will be quite handy to get your patients healed quicker and quicker. So that then stays with us. Now what we can do here, if we so wish, is that one of our improvements, we may then trade it in, including the one that we've already had, to take 1 blood bag token. The blood bag tokens are these ones here. These just allow us to heal our meeples, our dice patients a bit faster as well. So we've done that. So we've got our first load of patients in. We have got our specialists, our departments all set up. So it's now time to start treating our patients. So if we start with this guy here, so they can move around the hospital to do different things. So if we take a look, so this one here will allow us to move 1 patient up 1 value. This one in green. This one will allow us to do it to a red patient. This one allows us to do it to a yellow patient. This one allows us to move a 5 or a 6 up 1. This one allows us to do it with a 1 and a 2. This one allows us to do it with a 3 and a 4. So you can see here how we can try and heal our patients with as much variety as possible. But for now, we are going to start by going here. So this nurse is in the pharmacy. We can use this one to turn it up to a 6. That then goes down to the next one, to the tick, just to say they have been treated. Okay, so our next one, we are going to go here. So we're going to do this one and we're going to treat that one there. And then finally, let's go here. Because we've got a 3 or 4 in any colour, we're going to go for this one to move it up to a 4. And that one goes there. So that is our go now done. We then go to the other player who does the same thing. So they've got a few different options as well here. Oh, we did forget, they get their meeple for their guy. So they are going to go here first to move one of these up to a 6. Then we're going to go here to move this one up to a 6. And then this one is going to go here to move this up to a 4. We can also then use our pharmacist. So the pharmacist is going to go here, and we're going to move this one up. But because the pharmacist has their special ability, we're going to move it up by 2, because this allows us to move a 4 up to a 5, and then the pharmacist allows us to move a step up again. So that's how we're looking at the end of our hospital activation phase. So, neglected patients, this is the fourth phase of the game. So we check for any untreated people in our wards. We have a few for the first player, so then these go down one, so they're actually getting a bit sicker because they haven't been treated this turn. So they go down one here. They only have two that go down one. If they ever go onto one and then their next turn of being untreated, they go down to 0, they are a fatality. They are removed from your hospital and you place a morgue token on the appropriate place there. Hey, so we don't have any discharged patients just yet. So we're going to move to our shift change. So the shift change, all the nurses move back to the nurses' station. The specialist comes back off the board. We return all our treated patients back up to here. So we've got another time to get these guys treated and out of our hospital. We turn this marker round. We also take him out of the game because he wasn't chosen, so he is out. And then we then choose some more. So we take one of those and one of those. And then the person who would be the first player then chooses another one. So they're going to go for the department tile this time. So we're going to have 2 department tiles. If I just move them over slightly so you can see those. Hey, and then that is the end of the first round. This then goes to the next player in the circle. All of these will end up going to the bottom of the pile. All of the unused specialists and unused department tiles will go to the bottom of the pile in a random order. And that is basically how you play the game. Oh, and before we forget, these are then refilled with extra dice as well. So that is the first round of the game. If you do have any questions about it, do get in touch and let me know. I think it's quite a straightforward game as well. You can see there, again, even with the little step-by-step tutorial, that it is quite a fast-paced game. You're going to get through this, I would say, first game in maybe about an hour, maybe less. But there are also other things that you can add to your game to vary it up. So here, as we showed in the unboxing, we have these events. So these are things that will just vary up the game from turn to turn. Just adding in some additional rules. And then here, if you're playing solo, you can play solo, which is pretty cool. You have different medical reports, which act as your objectives that you need to fulfill as well. There are also some additional rules in the back of the rulebook. These will be things such as an ongoing crisis or a nationwide epidemic, a resistant superbug. I think some very on-topic variant rules there at the moment, but those variant rules are there for you. So yeah, that is everything. Again, let me know if there's anything that you're unsure of with the game. We do have this copy in our library, so you can come to the shop, pay your £2 for the boardroom and get playing. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed and we'll see you in the boardroom.